So what is up, guys? This is Nick here from Everything Tech, and welcome to the Samsung Galaxy J7 camera review. Now, while I'm putting this guy through the review process, I am going to do a camera review here for you. I went out today, did a lot of pictures for you guys, and actually we're still not done. I'm actually shooting this part of the video now, and I'm gonna get some night photos in a little bit. But while we're still working on that, let's talk about the interface and all of that stuff right here, right now. Let's go. So let's kick this review off by talking about the rear camera on the Samsung Galaxy J7. So this camera right here, guys, is a 13 megapixel camera with an f1.9 aperture and a 28 millimeter focal length. This also is an autofocus camera, and it does have an LED flash, no fancy color spectrum sensors or dual LED, nothing like that, just your typical LED flash, but you're going to find out later that it does work quite well here. But it is quite nice to see a 1.9 aperture on, a budget device here. So let's go ahead and flip it around to the front of the device and check out that front camera now. So the front camera here on the Galaxy J7 here. Now this right here is a 5 megapixel camera that is a f2.2 aperture. So this is like the same aperture that some of your rear cameras would have got back in the day. And now this is a 23 millimeter focal length, so not quite as much as the back. And this does have an LED flash as well. But now let's take a look at the camera interface. Alright guys, so let's begin this review by looking at the camera interface. So to access it, first of all, we know we can always access it from the camera lock screen. You got that little shortcut to scroll up. Also, to get into the camera interface, you can go into settings when you get this device. You can go into settings, or if you don't have it and you just want to know what to do here, you can go to advanced features here, and we do have quick launch camera brought over from the Samsung Galaxy S7, which is going to give you the double tap to get into the camera. So let's test that out. Double tap, and boom, you are in there. Let's do that one more time. Double tap, boom, we're in right there. Now, let's take a look at the interface itself here. So let me zoom in just a little bit, guys, to give you a closer look at this. So you can see, it's pretty good right there. So you can see on the left of the device, we are going to have this little icon here where you can just kind of tap and, remove it. So this is going to give you basically a simple mode here. Now, simple mode is basically, in my opinion, this is not actually a Samsung mode, but moving that out makes it pretty simple. Now all you have is the camera and the record button there and your modes and flip to selfie. So that's pretty cool there. Now, if you add these, you do get some more options over here. Let's talk about these options. On the effects, they do give you a few effects. They give you grayscale, they give you sepia, they give you negative, which is basically that effect that makes you look super like you're getting an MIR done at a hospital or something like that. So you could see you do have that effect. Scrolling down, you have nothing else. So 4 effects, although I didn't do any pictures today with the effects because I don't think many people use the effects. So over here, we do have the timer, and you can see up to 2 seconds, 5 seconds, and 10 seconds. Over here, we do have auto mode on and off. And over here, we do have the ability to change our picture sizes. Now, as you guys can see here, let me zoom in a little more. You can see we do have 13 megapixels at 4:3 aspect ratio, which is basically the aspect ratio that's going to cut off the screens and not going to give you that full widescreen. So later on, you're going to see a lot of shots in 16:9. 9.6 megapixels at 16.9, 1:1 aspect ratio, 8 megapixel 4:3. So that's basically, that one right there is basically the one you get on the iPhones, the 8 megapixel 4:3 aspect ratio. The iPhone 5S, SE, 6, and 6 Plus, not the 6Ss. Over here, 6 megapixels at 16:9 and 2.4 megapixels at 16:9. So you do get a plethora of options to shoot in. I tend to leave it in 16:9, 9.6 megapixels. I think that's the best resolution. And it's not the best resolution, but it's the best auto mode for me because it gives me the widescreen, which I do enjoy. But for the crispest detail, you do want to keep it in 13 megapixels. Going down, you can see we do have our, auto flash right here. I don't know, my stylus is acting up, but you can put on auto, you can turn it off. We all know about the flashes. That's nothing new here. So going in the settings, you could see that we do have the ability to change video size from full HD to HD to VGA. Nobody's using VGA, so get out of here with that, Samsung. But I appreciate the full HD, I really do. Grid lines, which I do keep on because I like to, use the grid lines to line things up. It makes it easier on my eyes. Location tags for, tagging where you took your pictures. You can review your pictures immediately after you take them, and you could quick launch the camera like we said earlier with a double tap. Also, they give you 3 options with the, the volume key, which is pretty cool. You can take pictures, you can record video, and you could zoom. So that's pretty awesome. And I found myself just leaving it on zoom, but you can do that with this volume key right here. You could take, pictures and all that. So, and you could reset the settings down there to default, but I'm not going to do that because I'm still shooting later on today. But what I've been really impressed with this camera is the speed at which it takes a photo. So let me go ahead and grab this, iPod Nano here, 5th generation, bring the subject in the camera. And you can see focus. Let's see, focus. Boom, take the shot. I don't know why it's not focused. Maybe too much light. Oh, there it goes. Boom, take the shot. Boom, take the shot. And you also have the ability to lift the exposure right here really easily. That might have been borrowed from iPhone, you might say. But that's, here nor there. It's an awesome feature to have. So let me just leave the iPod right there. Let's go into modes here and take a look at our modes. So we do have auto mode, which is basically exactly what it says, automatic mode, just take a shot. Over here we have pro mode. Now in pro mode, I've been using pro mode a little bit. You do have the ability to tweak the white balance, ISO settings, and exposure down there, more, in depth over here. But I found this mode, it's okay, but it really, it didn't do too much in my opinion. The phone shoots fine in terms of just, the automatic mode and setting a few tweaks like the exposure in the automatic mode. So I didn't find pro mode that useful. But, some photographers may find it useful because you do have these metering modes such as sensor weighted, matrix, and spot. Now, if you don't know what these are, then that's probably because you're not into photography. But basically, these are just to get, more accurate focus points on your subject. But you're not really going to need them unless you're like true photographer over here. So yeah, it adds that, the center focusing, and then over here, white balance, exposure, and other stuff. So over here, we do have panorama, and I did do an example of panorama you're going to see later. Continuous shot, which is burst mode. So if I go into continuous shot here, now I can take the burst modes just by holding down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, it's not as fast as something like the iPhone's burst mode, which is incredibly quick. But it's a burst mode nonetheless, and I don't know how many people are actually using burst mode. It's kind of a feature that I don't think many people are using too much. Beauty face over here. Now, beauty face is just basically, touching up skin tones and doing all that stuff. I could see where it could be useful if you're into fashion or you're taking pictures of a, photo shoot for a magazine or something. But for most of us, beauty face is some gimmick, for being self-conscious or something. And, I just like to leave it off and just appreciate the natural beauty. So over here, you do have skin tones, large eye, and slim face. And, they might be cool to mess around with, but I don't think many people are going to mess with beauty face. Over here, we do have sound shot, which basically allows you to take, background sound, and it'll be recorded up to 9 seconds after you tap the camera button. Now let's head over in here into sports mode. I did take some shots with sports mode of people biking earlier. You're going to see that later on, but that's the modes there. HDR rich tone, we all know what this is. High dynamic range. And within all of these, you can always change your picture size within all of these. But overall, that's pretty much it, guys, on the camera. Now, in terms of the gallery, I did want to talk about the gallery because I think the gallery is important to talk about here because it's, tied in with the camera. So in gallery, you can look at your pictures by time, and I don't want to spoil the video for later, but you can also zoom them out here. You can see I did take quite a bit. We're going to edit and clip these together. You could zoom those out, and it does give you that nice, white theming there for your photos. Also, you can go to time, and you could look at these by albums. So we have camera here, so you can see my new ones right there. And you could look at it by events, if you create events and stuff like that, like say you go out somewhere. Also, you can go to categories here, and you can look at it in terms of images, videos. Let me zoom that in a little bit. You can look at it in terms of images, videos, continuous shot, panorama, and selfie. Now over here, if we click camera, that's just going to go right back into the camera. But we want to take a look more into the gallery. So let me go back into gallery here. Let's go back. Come on, Samsung. Okay, let's go back. Now, yeah, so you can see that. So let's say we want to go into this picture right here. So you can zoom it out to come back into your gallery. And also, you know what we're going to do here. Let me zoom out just a little bit here on the Canon. So we can pinch to zoom into the photo as well. So that's a little, thing there. Also, you can favorite your pictures with this little star up here. You can go into editing modes. Let's go into editing. And you do have the ability to make adjustments, tone. You can tone things out here, the brightness, saturation, temperature, hue, all of that stuff. You can change the effects here. Down here, you have all these nice effects. I'm not going to go through all of them. We'll be here all day. But you do have effects there. You even got Magic Pen. So that's pretty cool. You can see that right there. Let's go to cancel. Let's go back. You do have portrait and drawing. So you can just write on there, hello. Smiley face, hello. And then we could go back here. And yeah, so you do have those options from within the gallery. And you do have the ability to share right here with this icon. Share right there with that icon, and really easy to share here. You do have a print option here as well, and yeah, you do have these other options here, set of wallpaper, our typical stuff, rotate the picture, and things of that nature. But that's pretty much the gallery. I wanted to show you guys the gallery because I think it's tied in with the camera. It is important in terms of the actual, JPEG sizes. Let's check out the JPEG sizes. So let me see more. If we go down, scroll down, and we go to details, you can see that we do have about 3 megabytes on a typical JPEG, so that's not going to take too much space. And another thing, guys, this camera does not shoot in RAW video format. And I want to go see and take a look at the storage before we hop into the samples, just to see how the storage has been going, because I've been shooting all day, and I'm using the internal storage. So let's see. Looks like I used about 2.5 gigs. So I used about 2.5 gigs and I shot over 100 pictures today. So you are going to use some space if you are shooting with this camera. But what are my impressions of this camera? What do I think about this camera? This camera is a win for this price. I've been very happy with the camera, and you're going to see why right here in these samples. So I know this video has been quite long, but you're really going to enjoy this. Stay tuned. And if this is the end of the video for this portion, be sure to click the like button for me if you enjoyed this video. And stay tuned for the rest of it. We got video samples. We got picture samples. Enjoy the rest of this. Have a great day. Let's go. So what is up, guys? This is the front-facing camera on the Galaxy J7. Now this is shooting in at 3.7 megapixels on the resolution due to the fact that 16:9 on this phone only displays in 3.7 megapixels, although this is 1080p. So you can let me know what you think. It's a nice, bright, sunny day out here in nature. And I'm going to switch it over to the full 5 megapixel front-facing camera, 4:3 aspect ratio right now. Alright guys, now we are shooting in the 5 megapixel 4:3 aspect ratio here on the Galaxy J7. Audio on all of these videos are firing directly from the device's speakers itself. So you can let me know what you think here of how it performs. Now my hand is pretty stable, but overall I think it performs pretty well. Let me know what you guys think down below. Alright guys, now you are seeing the video recording on the back of the Galaxy J7. I'm holding this as steady as I can, although I am a ball of energy, so sometimes it shakes a little bit. There is no optical image stabilization on this device, just EIS or electronic stabilization. We're here at Oz Park. The day is nice. It is beautiful. If you guys come to Chicago, this is Oz Park if you were wondering. And if you live in Chicago, you might know this place or you might not. But you could see right here, getting close on a subject. It's pretty much what you're going to expect on the rear camera recording. Now I am going to do some more recording later on at night, but I wanted to do it in here because there's a lot of color and you can really see how it performs. Now let me just walk pretty fast, so if you're trying to catch a moving scene, you could see the shake, and that's pretty much what you're gonna expect. Let's come in a little bit over here on this, get a little bit close on this macro, just so you guys can see. Flowers looking nice, but that's the back camera on the Galaxy J7. 'This right here, guys, is just straight madness. Check this out. .1080p rear camera. Boat's going out for a ride. Alright guys, so this is the front-facing recording on the Galaxy J7. There are some trees above me, so we are in the shade. It is now about 8 o'clock. It's pretty low light. It's not completely pitch black yet, but we're getting there. This is the front-facing video recording, and through my viewfinder it looks pretty good. Let me know what you guys think down below. Here is some 1080p recording. As you can see how the exposure shifts here at night. We can still see quite a bit of good detail here on the Galaxy J7. Let's zoom in a little bit on the church house right there. As you can see, 2x. I accidentally zoomed back. 4x right there. A little bit shaky on the zoom, but you can see still picking on pretty good detail here at about 7:30, 8 o'clock p.m. Rear camera, 1080p, full HD. So I'm recording here in movement on the Samsung Galaxy J7. As you can see in Chicago, we do have a lot of street lights, so it does stay quite brightly lit here at night. But basically, this is how it's going to act if you're recording while you're skateboarding, you're on a bicycle like I am, or anything of that nature. 1080p, full HD, rear camera in motion. Alright guys, so I'm recording on the front-facing camera of the Galaxy J7 now with that front-facing flash on, and I really like this feature because it really does brighten up the scene. And if you're doing stuff like this, like vlogging at nighttime, it does put the light on you if you're in a very dark situation, as I am right now. But that's pretty much going to wrap this video review up. If you guys enjoyed it, please leave a thumbs up down below. Thank you all for your support. You really make this, so fun for me. You give me the support to keep doing this stuff, and I enjoyed every bit of doing this camera review today. So thank you. I'm grateful for you, and have a great day. Be sure to be well. Share this with anybody interested in this phone, and I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.